Hey, welcome back to Ping Pong Flicks. My name is Chris Wong. Good afternoon, Monday, late afternoon, Monday. As you can see, stuck at home. But I want to talk about Cloverfield, 10 Cloverfield Lane, Cloverfield, and the upcoming Cloverfield movie and what's in store for what's after. Speculation, of course, as that is my channel's way of making videos. But I really want to talk about when Mary Elizabeth Winstead, they asked her several questions about 10 Cloverfield Lane, and she came out recently and said, talked about bringing her character back, and she said she's totally down for a sequel to 10 Cloverfield Lane in a way where Michelle comes back. Because her story kind of it was just a cliffhanger, it just ended when she's driving out towards the Houston and you see those alien ships in the background. But this is what she had to say. This was reported on Screen Crush, by the way. She said when they asked her about bringing her character Michelle for another go around, she said, "I know that Dan Trachtenberg, he's the director of 10 Cloverfield Lane. I know that Dan and I would love to continue that story. The anthology series is where they are going with it. So whether or not that ever comes back to Michelle's story, I'm not sure. But I know Dan always had more in mind." So I would love the opportunity to explore that. If anybody would ever let us do that, we would jump on it. So that's almost in saying that this film series is an anthology series. Whether they're connected really tightly together or not remains to be seen. Once God Particle, or whatever they're going to call it, Cloverfield Particle, comes out, we'll find out if there's any connection at all, or if there was any change in the plan of originally doing anthology and then changing it to an actual sequel. We'll find out. But and I know this article. If you read this article, they talk about the first one was an alien invasion and stuff. It's totally no. But anyway, what I want to focus is on the opportunity to explore more what Dan had in mind, and if that even coincides with J.J. Abrams' mindset of where this story would go. And I would totally love to see a comeback to Michelle, or at least showing what happens next, and showing the discourse of the way the world is at that point when she drives off to Houston. This is like the post-apocalypse afterwards. And I know I've talked to a couple of you, and you guys shared different aspects of the story. I'd like to shout out Jamie Rios. I hope I said your name correctly, but they had an idea that Cloverfield happens first, then God Particle, and by the end of that would be the 10 Cloverfield Lane, then it goes from there. I love that idea because what they're saying about God Particle, as you already know if you're following, is that there's something happens in space. They lost communication with Earth, and so at that point in lost communication with Earth, people are wondering that's when Cloverfield happened, when the alien invasion actually came, the first or the second wave at least, and that happened. So that's where God Particle is in during that timeline, if it's connected at all. This is only a speculation. If it's an anthology series with no connection whatsoever, then whatever. But if it is connected, then that's a great idea, because I can totally see that happening, and I could totally see where it could go afterwards. We could have a whole alien resistance type of film. Michelle turns into like a Sarah Connor of the series, if she comes back to it, or at least show the post-apocalyptic world where the humans fight back via Battlefield Los Angeles, or even like the Resistance games, something like that along those lines. And it would be really cool to see her character change. She has changed in the movie. She went from running away from the very beginning, running away from marriage, whatever she was doing, and then running away from the aliens and running away from everything until the very end, where she realized her potential, and to fight back. To I'm not going to run away anymore. I'm going to deal with my problems. I'm going to deal with them. I'm going to stop running away. Ever since her thing about running away from her father, she spoke of that in the film. So she's finally living up to her destiny, her true destiny, if you will, maybe to lead the resistance or help people, and that's where she was going towards the end. I would like to see that arc into from civilian Michelle to badass Michelle. You know, although she was pretty badass in the film when she threw that Molotov into the alien mouth, and so that's where I would love to see it go. Seeing where how the aliens arrive, if there's any connection with the Cloverfield monster to the aliens, I would definitely welcome that. Even though prior, I understand J.J. Abrams has mentioned that Cloverfield monster is not an alien. He's from down under, and they put the station over him to research about him, and he ate the, what do you call that stuff in the bottom of the sea and turned big. But I just keep thinking that original idea, when they were going to make sequels to Cloverfield, that with Matt Reeves and stuff, that went out the window already. I just imagine that they're going in a different direction here, and I know he's going to have to take back what he said and stuff like that, but they've done that with Lost. I mean, right? Lost, they've started out with something and ended with something else, and they admitted that they didn't know where the story was going, even though at first they were adamant that they knew where it was going. So it could happen. I'm just saying it could happen. I'm not telling anybody's theories or anybody's word about the future to be false, or what they said before. I'm not telling that it's never happened. I'm not saying that you're false or something. I'm just being speculation and theory, and I welcome anybody's speculation and theory. That's what makes that's why I like what I want to do with my channel anyway. Any comment that you have that's a theory, I welcome it. I love it. And theories are meant to be talked about and meant to be discussed, and it's just, this is the fun part. That's the exciting part, just to see what happens in the future, whether it happens or not, right? But anyway, just going back to what Mary Elizabeth Winstead, I mean, she's one of my all-time favorite actresses, and I watch anything with her in it, and would greatly love to see her span to a new movie in the Cloverfield universe, and totally connected. Seeing her arc, she'd be like the hero of the whole story, like the Ripley. She's the Ripley of the story. She's the Sarah Connor of the story of Cloverfield. That would be pretty kick-ass and awesome. I also want to mention that a lot of people were finding, and I just looked at it now, you know that ending scene where they're going off in the distance and you see the spaceships? There is looks like I don't know if this is just a cloud or a giant figure in the background. Could that be adult Cloverfield? You know, I don't know if they wanted to connect it that way, but someone took a snapshot of it real quick. It looks like legs come down. Look at that right there, but I don't know if that's any way connection, or if that's just clouds. I'm not sure, but it's just cool to look at that and speculate some more about if the monster is even connected to this universe or not. But it seems to be, because, you know, like the ARG you guys are mentioning, Howard does work for was part of the satellite program for, you know, Tagurato and all that. It's all connected in that respect, but I would love to see it, even though not just by little scene hints and Easter eggs here, but like actual confirmation and things in the movie that is not an Easter egg, but directly just say it out loud that we are connected together. But we'll see if that happens in God Particle, and that was my theory why God Particle has been delayed further, because I really think studio executive decision decided, let's make a franchise out of this. We love your idea of anthology, J.J. Abrams, I get it, but we want a franchise for ourselves. So let's make this effort to make it more connected than before. And that could be reason why J.J. Abrams says, I'm not going to do any more franchises, guys. He came out and says, I don't want to do any more of that. So, I mean, this is what I was meaning to do this video for a while now, speculative, but I know I had all these Power Rangers and Justice League stuff. But Cloverfield fans, still excited. Have you heard any more? Please let me know. I'm trying to really dig into this. And do you want to see Michelle back in the Cloverfield universe. Thanks for watching, guys. Have a great day.